Hej allihopa och välkomna till Annell ljus och form och ytterligare ett webbinarium. Vi har ju ett apriligt Stockholm omkring oss, gråväder som ni ser bakom mig, snöstorm är på väg, mycket snö åtminstone. Så det är så att ett april som inte förnekar sig. Dagsljussituationen ute här just nu är ju lite som vi inte vill ha det inomhus, och vi kommer in på det där temat lite idag. Med oss har vi ju Marc Juarez från Seoul Semiconductor som ska få berätta lite grann för oss om fullspektrumljus eller kontinuerligt spektrum som en del vill kalla det för, SunLike. En ljuskaraktär som jag och många med mig är väldigt förtjusta i, och vi är glada att berätta lite grann om. Är Marc there?
Hello.
Can you say hello to the audience? I will let you in after my commercial.
Perfect. Very nice, and thank you for being here.
Okay. Så, innan då vi släpper in Marc då nere från München där som ska gå in lite mer handfast på tekniken och vad finns att säga kring SunLike, så kan väl jag få berätta lite grann om vad vi tycker och vad jag tycker här kring det. Och först så kan jag berätta då om Annell och Annell ljus och form då, att vi har ett brett utbud armaturer, det vet ni många av er. Vi jobbar både inom och utomhus, ljus- och teknikkompetens. Vi har en egen teknikavdelning. Vi har Ljusakademin där ni deltar just nu. Ljusakademin är väl någonting vi egentligen vill ha live. Men tiden har ju varit så att det har blivit rätt webbinarigt, men vi hoppas kunna återgå till live och kanske göra en kombination så att även gäster utifrån landet enklare då kan delta. Vi har en stad- och trafikavdelning då som jobbar med infraprojekt, och sen så har vi då huvudkontor i Stockholm, Alvik, det är där ni är nu. Göteborg är ju härligt att vi äntligen är tillbaka där och på fin adress på Stampgatan. Invigning i höst kan jag tipsa om, jag kommer inte ihåg datumet nu, men det är jätteroligt, fina lokaler och kommer att vara mycket att se där. Sen har vi ju då ett väldigt aktivt kontor i Lund med 3 medarbetare, och sen har vi Mattias uppe i Umeå, så vi har spritt ut oss ganska bra. Totalt sett kanske ska jag säga att vi är 19 medarbetare. Och varumärken då som vi omger oss med är ju då för stad och trafik är ju väldigt duktiga AEC, italienare, specialister då på gator och vägar. Och sen har vi då ATP, spanjorer som väl tar vid lite grann där AEC slutar då. Vi kan väl säga torg och parker kan vi sammanfatta det med. Comlight är ju ett enkelt listigt system också att kommunicera de här installationerna då på ett digitalt sätt och för att spara energi och styra ljuset då på ett bra sätt. Och på ljus och form, den traditionella ljus och formsidan där, så har vi ju ett samarbete sedan nu snart 2 år tillbaka med Trilux, och det är en av de stora giganterna i Europa. Ett väldigt brett sortiment. De är ju duktiga bland annat på industribelysning, och det var ju helt nytt för Annell. Och det är ju spännande, men de har väldigt mycket annat kul också. Bega känner ni till väl, också ett stort tyskt varumärke, och Bega hette i Annell-världen för några år sedan Limburg. Bega hade ju då ett inomhussortiment, Limburg, och ett utomhussortiment som hette Bega. Sen ville Bega då utveckla lite mer tekniska armaturer även för inomhusbiten, och då tyckte de inte att Limburg passade så bra. Limburg är ju väldigt förknippat med vackra munblåsta glas. Och då gjorde man Bega av alltihopa, och så att Annell representerade då Bega Indoor. Och att det är lyktan då som tidigare representerar Bega Outdoor. Men det är ett samarbete och en kombination som funkar väldigt väl. Ledlux började ju faktiskt, de kommer från Slovenien och började ju som egentligen en legotillverkare till Annell. Men har visat sig vara väldigt duktiga, tekniskt drivna och kompetenta. har utvecklat också ett eget sortiment som är väldigt attraktivt och som dessutom nu har delvis fått in en ny delägare i form av Trilux. Så att där har vi liksom på något sätt verkligen knutit ihop säcken. Castaldi, goda vänner från Milano, väldigt duktiga på det vi kallar för byggnadsnära eller arkitekturnära utomhusbelysning. Så skiljer sig lite grann från stoltrafik där det är mer tekniskt och gator och vägar och så. Och där kommer vi in på innergårdar och ja, ni förstår, utredningsbelysning som jag brukar säga ibland, alltså inredningsbelysning för utomhusbruk. Så att, och sen har vi då Sattler, våra exklusiva vänner också ner från Tyskland, från Stuttgartområdet, för projekt med lite ambition och ja, en okej budget får vi väl säga. Och sen finns ju Annell också som eget varumärke för våra egna modeller och vår egen produktion, vår egen design. Och ja, Ljusakademin ser ut så här nu för tiden då digitalt, och här kommer väl Marc Nylle så småningom nu också få vara med. Men det här är ju några av de webbinarier vi har haft här senaste året. Ja, vår filosofi. Det här är väl någonting kanske som dagsljuset bakom mig idag skulle notera också. Det här är ju egentligen en mission som Annell har drivit i massa år. Och handen på hjärtat måste jag säga att det har ju gått så där. Men jag känner alltså att vi får ju mer och fler och fler med oss i den här kampen mot det här flacka digitala diset som figurerar i många sammanhang. Och vi har ju då infört den här, kan vi säga, liksom lite inspirerade från tobaksbranschen, en varningsetikett som då handlar om att man ska ha omdöme och använda lättplattor med försiktighet. Och det är ju då för att inte liksom skapa den här typen av ljussituationer, utan kanske mera lite grann åt det här där vi har ljus och skugga och kontraster och variation. Det är någonting som vi behöver i våra ljusmiljöer även inomhus i väldigt hög utsträckning. Och då samlas det här under begreppet då ljus för människor. Och sen i en kampanj som många av er säkert har sett i tidningar och sociala medier så har vi ju då annonser och annonsuppslag som ser ut på det här sättet där vi då inspirerar till förståelse för vikten att ha varierade ljusmiljöer. Och dessutom så startade vi en grupp, där en hashtag-grupp som ni ser, Annell för bättre ljus eller vad det står där, som lyckades dra med sig stora delar av branschen, och det tyckte vi var kul. Inte alla dock, de som vet, de skäms. SunLike, det är ju ett begrepp, har blivit ett begrepp och varit föregångare i den här typen av ljuskaraktär som har fått efterföljare. Seoul Semiconductor och SunLike har inspirerat andra tillverkare att ta fram liknande ljuskvaliteter, och det är vi ju väldigt glada för att det finns väldigt mycket kvalitet i det här. I Annell-världen så kallar vi SunLike för spektra. Så att i de lägen man letar efter SunLike och SunLikes karaktärer så kan man lägga till ett spektra efter den aktuella modellen, för då vet vi omedelbart vad det handlar om. Och nu föregår jag kanske Marc lite grann här, men det här känner jag är lite viktigt att berätta om. Att här ser ni då överst till vänster själva tekniken med den violetta dioden som sen då filtreras genom ett väldigt speciellt fosfor då, som är framtaget av Toshiba Materials och kallas för 3R. 3R är också ett begrepp som dyker upp i vissa sammanhang, men det handlar ju då bara om Toshibas fosfor i samarbete med Seoul Semiconductors då violetta diod. Och den bilden då, spektrala kurvan som ni ser där uppe till höger, där det står 5000 Kelvin, den visar ju den kurva man ofta ser som är förknippat till SunLike. Där ni har den streckade kurvan då som på något sätt ska illustrera dagsljusets spektrala innehåll och fördelning i då relation till diodens spektrala fördelning. Men grejen är ju den med den där kurvan är ju det att det är 5000 Kelvin och vi jobbar ju inte så där väldigt mycket med 5000 Kelvin i Sverige. Men så det är bra att känna till det, att det finns en relation mellan det här. Och den undre kurvan den visar ju någon typ av standardiserad dagsljusfördelning. Jag tror att standard dagsljus, allt finns ju standard, det är ju mitten på september, skyad norrhimmel klockan 3 på eftermiddagen i Paris eller någonting sånt där. Så att vi kan väl leka att det där är det. Men 5000 Kelvin så är och då har vi då den spektrala profilen, ni ser där på SunLike. Men vi jobbar ju ofta med 3000 Kelvin och vad händer då? Jo, då har vi ett exempel här från en kulinstallation som är Scheffler i Arlanda stad, ett kontorshus som valde då att investera i den här typen av ljuskaraktär. Och där ser ni direkt under då miljöbilden med fina plain spektra. Så ser ni ju då samma spektrala fördelning SunLike fast nu 3000 Kelvin. Vi har ju alltså tryckt in mera energi, mera av den syngrundande strålningen in mot den varma delen av spektrat. Och då får vi den här pucken. Och jag tyckte från början väldigt bra om det här ljuset. Det kändes vänligt och mjukt och snällt och förutom att det hade ju då egenskaper som bra färgåtergivning och sånt där såklart. Men det var något speciellt med det här ljuset och sen så upptäckte jag i något sammanhang den kurvan då längst ner eller spektrala profilen längst ner till höger är ju glödljuset. Som vi minns det. Halogenglödlampor och glödlampor och så på 2700, 300 eller 3000 Kelvin och RA100 då. Det är ju själva alltså temperaturstrålar som man kallar det för. Och då fick jag liksom lite aha-upplevelse för här kan ju ligga en förklaring till för att alla gillar ju de här temperaturstrålarna om det nu är stearinljus, om det är solen eller om det är glödljus. Och här har vi nu plötsligt en LED-ljuskaraktär som på något sätt påminner väldigt mycket om den här kälkbacken då som glödljuset representerar. Sen tabellen där uppe, jag vet inte om ni kan läsa den är ju, det är 4 plain spektra som är mätta på oberoende laboratorium med RA då i 14-färgsskalan. Så att det är 4 armaturer som är gjorda för ett test och där ser ni ju vilka fina värden det är. Men för att få en jämförelse lite grann, för att det finns ju flera som gör dioder med väldigt höga RA-värden, så har vi en ny kompis i vårt sortiment som heter Lenty. Det är en spotlight då från Trilux, eller egentligen deras dotterbolag Octalight. Och det här är också ett ljus som jag tycker är fantastiskt fint. Och här har vi ju då, ni ser både på TM30-kurvorna och på RA-redovisningen så ligger vi också på RA97 och har fantastiskt fina värden. Och vektorgrafiken där har en RG för de som vet vad det är, en gamut då som är väldigt mättad. Så att det är också mättade färger. Men ser ni den spektrala profilen, den ser ju helt annorlunda ut trots att vi här också pratar en ljuskälla nu då som har RA97. Och då vill jag bara säga att det här är ju då väl ett av skälen till att kanske jag och en del med mig känner att det här SunLike-ljuset, även om det finns andra tekniker som också har högt RA men som baserar sig då traditionellt på den blå dioden, att den profilen skiljer sig väldigt markant ifrån som vi ser här. Men här har vi alltså 2 färgtemperaturer, 3000 Kelvin, båda RA97. Och de modeller då i spektrasortimentet som vi har är ju, och jag tar tillbaka en bild bara. Alltså en idé här nu lite grann från oss och från mig är ju då att SunLike använder vi då gärna som allmänljus. Det här liksom, ja ni vet det stora ljuset runt omkring oss. Och sen använder vi ju då det här fina Lenty RA97 ljuset med som accentljus. Förstår ni vilken fantastisk kombo? Och som sagt modeller spektra då som vi har omkring oss. Egentligen kan vi ju göra flera, men det här är liksom mer eller mindre standard och det är det vi säljer. Och det är ju då Plane som jag redan har nämnt. ILO är ju ett av våra mest sålda modellfamiljer, både som singelenheter och som system. Och där ska vi faktiskt, jag hade velat visa bilder här från en skola i Stockholm och vi har försökt ta bilder där. Men vi ska faktiskt dit i eftermiddag och ta lite bilder, så att det var ju timing kan man ju säga. Men det roliga också med den skolan är att de har gjort nu en större testinstallation och håller på med utvärderingar som ska bli klara till hösten. Så att jag hoppas vi får anledning att återkomma till det. Och där har man dessutom då tunable, SunLike tunable white då, för att få någon typ av cirkadiansk touch liksom på det hela. Och sen Kyra då som är en enkel, bra, men en ganska enkel profilarmatur då som vi säljer bland annat en del till skolor och skolmiljöer. Okej, det var jag. Mark, are you there?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
To take over?
Yeah, so thanks a lot.
Okay. But Mark, may I just add one thing? It's about question and answers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Of course, we expect a lot of questions and wonderings to really challenge us to give good answers at the end.
Right.
Okay, good.
Right, and if something we cannot cover today, feel free to send us an email and contact us. So we are happy to support any questions, yeah? So, Stefan, I didn't understood everything as you did in Swedish, and my Swedish is not so good. But I believe you explained already a lot about SunLike from the pictures I see. So the idea is that today, we can go a bit deeper and also show you a bit more about the human-centric lighting and why we think that the SunLike is really the best light for humans, plants, and animals. Yeah. So let's try to go to the next slide, please. Let me just tell you a few things about Seoul Semiconductor. We are a company that is doing the small chips, the LED chips, and we started in 1992 in Korea. So we are a South Korean company. Our main sectors is indoor, outdoor, automotive, UV, IT. Most probably some of your phones or screens are with our LEDs. And today we are the #3 in the world. So we produce a lot of small, tiny LED packages that we serve around the world. And our turnover is around 1 billion, more than 1 billion. And we really focus on patents and R&D. So very strong company in R&D. Next slide, please. So today the agenda is to talk a bit about the sun, so our star, how it looks, the human-centric, some scientific studies, the key technologies, and some success stories to inspire you for your next projects. Okay. So the sun, since ages, the humans are always looking to bring the sun indoors, because it's the best light, it's the best quality, it's for free also, it brings heat, UV, that this is also something we have to avoid. But the visual light is what we need and what we really want. So now with SunLike, we are closer to it. Yeah. This is how it looks, the sun. So the real sun spectrum during the day, it goes changing. So you will see that in the morning is more orange, and then during the day it goes to really bluish if we have a blue sky. And then in the night it goes again to the red area, to the orange area. So it's moving all the time. So here you can see the different spectrums and how it changed the CCT. And the CCT of the sun usually can even reach more than 20,000 Kelvin. So it's really a bluish light, yeah? So let's see the small details. Yeah, this is in the morning. You see that the light contains a lot of red energy, also from the spectrum. And then in the 12 o'clock, for example, we have a lot of blue and less red. Yeah? And this is very important because this blue and red balance is triggering our bodies. It's triggering how we behave, how we can progress as a human based on the nature. Yeah, let's see the next one. So here we have a bit more details. Just go ahead. So yeah, the spectrum is dynamic. It goes changing from around 1,800 to 20,000. The intensity is always very high. So the sun, here we went a bit too fast. Just a bit back. So the sun is really very strong, the light of the sun. We have to think that the sun is around 10,000 Kelvin, 10,000 lux to 100,000 lux. Yeah, so it's really strong, the light. And we are living in a dark cave. Yeah, so when we are in our home office or in the office or at home that we have 300 lux, so this is really a cave compared to the outdoor light. So what we have to try always is to get the best spectrum as we can indoors, because our eyes, they work at very low light, and very low light levels, the spectrum with a better quality will make the difference to a spectrum with a bad quality. Yeah, and then finally, the sun also has UV and IR. So here, what we consider what is a human-centric lighting, and there are three main parameters: the visual light effects, the emotional effects, and the biological effects. Until now, the biological effects, we didn't know too much about them. But since a few years, a lot of research is being done with the new LEDs and the effects of this light on humans. And here also Seoul invests a lot with several universities and research centers to really find out how a good light can affect us. But for me, it's quite easy also to understand, because if you are in a blue sky day or really, if you are on holidays in a warm place, your mood goes up such hell, yeah, not in a dark day that you don't see the sun. So here the first study, if we make some small clicks there, we will see the evidence that we could find with the University of Basel, basically focusing on the alertness and the electroencephalogram activity, so the brain activity during the day and during the night. So this study really shows that when using sunlight during the day, we are much more concentrated. So we can concentrate much more in our task. And a little bit is a bit like the sun. The humans has been out under the sun, and we were hunting during the day. We were not hunting during the night, yeah, because it's during the day where we are more alertness, we are more concentrated, and we were capable to target during the day. Yeah? So, and then in the night, what we also have seen is that the delta wave, that are the deepest levels of relaxed and restorative sleep, with the sunlight are much better. So a good light during the day will also bring us a good refresh and restorage of our cells during the night. So this was done by University of Basel. Yeah. Let's go to the next study, also from Basel. So here, what they really target is the melatonin levels, and the melatonin, we all know that is it's really a very good hormone to understand the circadian rhythm of the human body, yeah? How we connect with the sun, and when we wake up, when we go to sleep, and this is somehow automatically, yeah, for our body. So our body really knows when to wake up, when to go to sleep, and this is also very much related with the light that we receive, yeah, before going to sleep. So what we've seen is that if we have a sunlight LED light before going to sleep, where we don't have the blue disruption, the blue peak disruption that a normal LED CRI-80 would have, the patients and the study people that did it, they were sleeping much faster. They were going to sleep much faster. So this also shows that the impact of this blue energy, yeah, the blue energy disruption before going to sleep. So this was also a very interesting study. Let's go to the next one. This one is about the psychological effects, yeah, the psychology of the light. because a good light can have a big difference against other lights. So mainly the mood, the comfort, if you feel comfortable in a space, if you feel that the light is natural. So this is very important for our bodies, also to adapt and to make tasks and to develop, yeah? Mainly at the end to work. So the sunlight was really scoring the best light, even compared with competitors like OptiSolis or CRI 90 products that we test, or CRI 80. Yeah, so here the persons are doing really a lot of studies and a lot of tests, and at the end the sunlight was always the best. Yeah, also in the mood, the natural things. Then we have another study from Harvard. This is also very, very interesting. It's quite recent. It's quite new, and it's about the cognitive performance. So cognitive performance is how we can develop certain tasks. Yeah. And the light has a big impact, and this we never thought about it yet, but having a better light can give you a 5% extra processing speed, or it can give you 2 times more memory. Imagine, if I have students with good light or students with bad light, the students with good light would perform much better than the other ones. Yeah? So this is really something that it triggers us a lot of questions, and it should help us also to develop into these new better lighting systems. Yeah. So especially schools, colleges, universities. Let's go to the next one. Then we have also the healthy effects of the light, and this is the myopia suppression. So most of us, and especially in Asia, also more than 50% of the kids already wear glasses. Yeah, and this is the short-sightedness of our eye, that our eye is growing in, let's say, in the incorrect direction. So we did some tests with the Singapore Eye Research, and what they found with the chicken, not with the humans by the moment, but with chicken, is that if the chicken is under sunlight, the deviation of this eye growing is much less than in CRI 80 or fluorescent tubes. Yeah. So this is also very important for the future, the healthy effects, because we can really reduce it. Yeah. So the next one here, we see the technologies that Staffan already explained it very well. So traditionally we have a blue LED chip that sends out a lot of blue light that we cannot control at the end. Yeah. So then this is the problem when we try to do a 5000 Kelvin CCT or 6500 Kelvin CCT with a blue chip, that we have too much blue and there are no colors at all. So that's why people also don't like the cold CCTs, because the colors are not well reproduced. Yeah. But if we see a sunlight with the violet chip, that we can really control the blue, greens, and reds, and we can have a 6500 Kelvin full of red colors. Yeah? So then the picture changed really a lot. Yeah? Because then people like also, yeah, because you see really vivid colors, really reds. Even the light is very cold. So this is also one of the main difference in the technology. Okay, here we see difficult to appreciate in the computer, but the sunlight would be really this super top quality on the color rendering, yeah? On CRI, on TM30, on CQS, whatever the metric you take, sunlight will be always one of the best. Yeah? Very difficult to do better than this. Okay, here the example I was talking about. To do a 3000 Kelvin with a good rendering is not so complicated. Today, many LEDs can do a very good quality at 3000 Kelvin, 27, even 4000 Kelvin. But if you take LEDs at 6500 Kelvin, most of them cannot reach more than CRI 80. Some of them maybe CRI 90, but the R9 value is also less than 50 or less than 40 or 10. Yeah. With the sunlight, we are the first to really provide this high CCT with full quality of the light, because we just mimic the sun, yeah? From 4000 Kelvin, from 400 nanometers to 700 nanometers, as you see here in the screen. Yeah? So CRI 98, fidelity, and gamut. And we are the first to have a diamond recognition for SunLike, that this is a UL certification from the US, where they really verify the gamut and the fidelity. And this is compared to the regulation TN30, and we have the best rendering and the best color. Here on the right, you can see the comparison with the CRI 74, 80, 90, and SunLike that is there on the point of this mountain. Yeah, so really the best quality we can achieve today. Okay, let's see the next one. Okay, so if we want to do the sun during the day, is it possible to do? Yes, today we can make it. Today we can combine 2-3 different CCTs in one luminaire and make a tunable system that will allow us to have these spectrums like the sun, that in the morning we don't have blue, then the blue starts to grow up, then we have a lot of blue and a bit less of red at noon, and then in the afternoon again we go back to more red and less blue or no blue. Yeah? So this we can have it today in a luminaire. This is no problem, and our cooperation with some of the manufacturers that Staffan also mentioned, they already have this solution. So talking about the spectrum and why it is important to see the difference is that some of the recent studies mentioned that at 490 nanometers, it's where we have most of our non-visual cells that will activate us, yeah? That will keep us awake, that will make us feel like we are outside in the natural light. So here on the left, you see the real sunlight, and on the right, you see a traditional LED and SunLike. And the main difference, as you see, is at 490 nanometers, where a traditional LED has very little energy or no energy, and SunLike has a lot of energy. So at the end, we can really stimulate the humans, plants, and animals like we were outdoors, but being inside. So this is really something that makes the difference. And we will see it more and more because there are new regulations and new standards coming. Yeah, we can see the next one. Yeah, here you see with the circles, the difference. Yeah. And this is what we are talking about, the new standard already progressing. And one of the key parameters now is the MEDI. The MEDI, the melanopic equivalent daylight illuminance, that the WELL standard is already applying it. And at the end, it defines a system, let's say in an easy way, that you can measure and calculate for the lighting designers also, what they need, what light they need to put, or which spectrum of the light they need to stimulate indoors in a healthy building. Yeah, so this will become more and more important. And here you see when we are at very warm temperatures, very warm spectrums that we don't have blue with the sunlight, our melanopic ratio is very low. Yeah, because when we are going to go to sleep or when we are in early morning, we don't want to have these big blue peaks. Yeah, so we don't have to stimulate the melatonin secretion. Melatonin creation. So the ratio is always very small, very low. So sunlight will always show very low ratios here. And if we click, we will see the next table. So now you see, if we are at noon, at 12 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 5,000 Kelvin, 6,000, 6,500 or 7,000, we have a stimulus that it's nearly 1. Yeah? This nearly 1 means that with this spectra, we have the same stimulation as we would be outdoors. Yeah. Of course, then it always depends on how many lux we have in the table. Yeah, because if I have a nice spectra, but I only have 50 lux, I cannot be stimulated like outdoors. Yeah, but it gives us already a first reference to calculate how many lux I need and to make my design of the luminaire for the building. Yeah. So this is coming more and more. And then the applications that we see for today already in the market with the SunLike is really the quality of the light. So we have museums, we have designers, test lamps, we have hotels that install it, we have car makers that use the quality of the light to check the paints. Then we have the healthy light for the buildings like residential or office, really growing a lot. And also it surprised us, but horticulture is really a growing segment, because the plants are also growing much better when you give them a good light. Yeah, so this is really interesting. So now we have some examples here. For example, talking about desk lamps, this is here you have some examples, especially for the kids, as we mentioned. This light has an impact on how they can develop the skills and the cognitive effects. So especially in Asia, they invest really a lot on the kids. And these luminaires are from Japan and from China. And it's really super nice. A lot of light, no glare, with the sun spectrum. Yeah, so it's perfect for the eye stress reduction, for really that the kids or kids, adults can really perform at maximum. Okay. Then we also have many manufacturers, I would say, in the market already producing bulbs, producing table lamps, producing smart systems that you don't have to touch anything. So the bulb or the system is running automatically. Yeah. So connecting with your Bluetooth, with your phone, it knows your position, where you are, and it simulates the light that you have outdoor, indoor. Yeah. So this is also something I believe is kind of the future, that you don't have to change anything. So everything is already under automatism. Yeah. So it goes automatically. And this is best for during the day or during the night. If you go to sleep, so you don't have this blue light that comes out from your system. Yeah, because automatically it knows it's 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, it's fully warm, no blue in the spectrum, so it's perfect. Yeah. Then we have another success story. I really love this one, is a school. And here you can see the difference during the day in the school, when they start in the morning or in the afternoon before going home, that the light is very warm, yeah, that there is no blue. And then during the day, the light goes getting more and more bluish, yeah, and the kids really can start to work and concentrate and play. And this is really following the nature. So also the differentiation from Seoul, from other manufacturers, is that we don't overstimulate. I've seen already several products from competitors where they try to do melanopic 1.2 or melanopic 1.4. Yeah, this is nice, maybe to stimulate somebody with a shock of light, let's say for 1 hour or 2 hours, but then how about the rest of the day? Yeah. So here you see that we bring the good light at the right moment, compared with the traditional blue chip. Yeah? And the SunLike is really about this. It's about bringing natural light and the best light at the right moment. This is how we believe we can make the future of lighting. Okay. Here you see the difference with the SunLike, traditional blue LED with the big blue spike, then no cyan energy, 490 nanometers for the stimulus and the melanopic, and then in the night, still the blue energy is there. Okay. Let's see the next one. Then this one is really, I also love it because we work a lot with the museums and the artists and lighting designers, and they always complain that the light was never good enough, yeah, especially for museums and so on. And with SunLike, we catch really their attention, because when they have to repair a paint or when they have to really do something in the museum, it's very important that the quality of the light is as better as possible, to make a repair and to keep the original as it should be, even they repair it. Yeah, so we bring them really the best spectrum with the best quality of the light for making the repairs, and also to show at the end the paints to the public. Okay. And that's it until here my presentation. So I think it was okay on time, that we can take some questions also and try to solve some of your doubts. So thank you very much.
Hormones here, and perhaps one or too many LED panels, but still. I really want to emphasize the visual qualities as well, as hormones is good for sure, absolutely, but also the visual qualities, and it's not only the color rendering. It happens something with the depth and the vividness and the structures and textures, which are much more obvious in somehow with this light characteristic, which SunLike is. I really want to, because within the HCL concept, it's also at least as much to talk about the visual qualities as with the non-visual effects from this light. But the combination, of course, then is wonderful. So I don't know if we have, how many questions do we have?
We don't have many questions, but
hey, come on, guys, questions.
I can see one question here is a question to Marc. With tunable white, I have noticed that the range of color temperature differs from manufacturer to manufacturer. Some have 2700 K to 6500 Kelvin, while some have 2700 K to 5000 K and so on. What is the reason for this, and what would you say is the optimum range?
I think this must regards tunable white, I think.
Yes, it's a
Jag vet inte, hörde alla frågan ungefär som jag skulle kunna höra era svar. Nej, men alltså frågan är ju varför olika tillverkare har olika olika spridning från så att säga varma till kalla färgtemperaturer. Did you notice the catch the question, Marc?
Yeah, so very good question, and how to say, I will try to explain my point of view on this, and then we can decide together also, yeah? So when we do a tunable system, so the idea behind it is that we simulate the stimulus of the sun, right? So the best system for me would be a system that it's really like the sun, no? That can go from 1800 Kelvin when the sun is really going out up to 20,000 Kelvin. Yeah, and it also brings me the full quality of the light, and also brings me a lot of light. Yeah, but of course this is the utopic view to simulate the sun really indoors. But today the manufacturers and the market at the end, they also need to adapt to what is feasible. Yeah, so from LED side, today we can provide from 2200 Kelvin, for example. But what happens then? That the efficiency then is a bit lower. Yeah. So also trying to target a better efficiency, I believe they start from 2700 Kelvin, and then most of them, if they are still using the blue chip LEDs, so they will stop at around 5000 Kelvin. Yeah, because then the quality of the light will also decrease quite a lot. But I believe that once you use the SunLike, and once you use a good quality product, so you can use from 2200 Kelvin, that for SunLike is already available, up to 6500 Kelvin. Yeah, that is also available on SunLike. And then you will always have a wider spectrum, let's say a wider movement like the sun at full quality. And let me say that we are also working on next developments of the SunLike, and for us this is how we envision the future, to really mimic the sun from 1800 Kelvin to 20,000 Kelvin, full quality.
And this means, and you keep the good color rendering and the quality from the lowest to the highest point of the Kelvin scale.
Right. This is the main challenge, yeah, to have a high quality, high performance, high lumen per watt from low to high. That this is why sometimes some manufacturers will try to reduce it depending on the technology they are using. Yeah.
That's one why it's limitation sometimes in the tunable range. Then you ended up far outside the Planckian curve, and then you will have visual phenomena when it comes to color rendering.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is also another point. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Okay, yeah, we can hear you.
Because I have something here in the screen. So the main thing here is if you only use two LEDs, one from 2200 Kelvin, one from 6500 Kelvin, yeah, the distance between both and the Planckian locus, so you will have some deviation there. So sometimes the best of the best would be to use 3 channels or 4 channels, but then we again talk about the economics of the system, yeah? So it depends on every case, yeah.
And the ambition and the budget, and of course.
Right.
Any more questions?
Yes. At the beginning, the efficiency seemed to be a bit poor, but obviously has improved. Can we expect to see further increases in lumen per watt, and perhaps also other interesting developments to come?
Did you catch that?
Okay, talking about the efficiency, this is also a very important one. Yeah? So if we try to understand that there is always a trade-off, yeah, between the quality and the efficiency, because for our eyes, our biggest sensitivity is in the green area, the green peak, yeah, 555 nanometers. That there we can even achieve 600 lumens per watt, but then the light is only green. So who wants a light that is only green? So at the end, based on starting from this principle, then we need to play with the different options we have and try to find a top quality and top performance. So this is the challenge for us. So when we started the SunLike developments in 2017, our lumen per watt was around 100 lumens per watt on the LED level. Today, after few years, we are already at 140 lumens per watt. Yeah, but with the full quality. So this is always the comparison that we cannot compare a normal CRI 80 with R9 value, the red color, minus 50. That means that there is no red at all, that your reds will look like browns or very bad, compared to the SunLike, where we have an R9 value always more than 90. Yeah, so this is what we need to compare. But if we just focus on lumen per watt, we had a big progress, and we really keep investing a lot in the SunLike technology to develop these lumens per watt and to reach also the similar efficiency as the blue LEDs. The blue LEDs today, they are already at their peak, at their maximum. And SunLike, I would say we are just at the beginning. So we have some good years ahead for the development.
But still, I think 140 lumens per watt for that kind of quality is really good enough, and in many cases a small price to pay for these enhanced environments. For sure.
Absolutely. Compare with the traditional bulbs we had before, yeah, incandescent or fluorescent, we already multiply by 2, by 5, by 10 the efficiency. Absolutely.
Or from T5 even, which not that far ago were considered to be the most energy efficient light source. So there is SunLike anyway far better. So what do we say here? My surrounding.
We have a few more questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we have time for more questions?
Yes, we
Yes,
have 10
okay.
minutes left.
10 minutes left. Okay. Let's hear.
Could SunLike be used in outdoor applications where the light have to be adaptable to the ecosystems?
Mm-hmm. This is a great question, and we already had the first examples of installations of SunLike for outdoor. I can say it's in the UK. So more and more there is also the concern about the animals and the plants during the night. Yeah, and when you use traditional blue chip LEDs, the blue content is always very high. Yeah, so as you've seen also some regulations now in Europe, like in France, that maximum you can install outdoors 3000 Kelvin in certain places or 2700 Kelvin in certain places. This is because the governments want to limit the light, the blue light, yeah, the blue light that goes out. Because it's also, again, demonstrated that this blue light is disturbing the circadian rhythm of the animals, especially, yeah, and most probably of the plants, but we don't have too much info. But for sure for the animals, yeah. And then what is happening with the sunlight is that we don't have this blue peak energy, we don't have the same blue going out and scattering from the light, so it's perfectly usable for outdoors, yeah. So should be no issue. So here is always the same question. What do we target the most, or what do we say is the priority? Is it only lumen per watt, or is the quality of the light, or we try to protect the animals or humans to improve? So this is the balance and the thinking we should take. But the important is that there are already installations with sunlight for outdoor.
Good. Yes, and it because it's some experiments going on here and there where they use red light and so on, and of course that may be good for the bats, but it's horrible for the people living there and spending their time there. So to have some kind of wide quality light protecting both the humans and the animals would be the optimal solution, of course.
So, as I mentioned, we can have, for example, 2200 Kelvin CCT with CRI 98, with TM3000, so full quality of the light for a very warm orange light with no blue at all. Yeah, so this is what the municipalities and the people is looking for when doing these projects. It's also for to look at the stars, to look at the sky. So they need this kind of light. Yeah, it's a good opportunity.
Thank you. So some more. One question more, of course. Yes.
Thank you for the presentation. The visual and non-visual effect seems great with sunlight. How is the production? Is there a bigger environmental impact by creating the sunlight technology?
So if I understand correct, this is how is the production? Sorry, I think I didn't get it.
Yes, it's about circularity and okay. The total impact of the environmental footprint.
Yeah. Okay.
From cradle to grave.
Okay. So sunlight at the end is same as any other kind of LEDs. Yeah. So there is no, I would say, nothing really different or much different from all the traditional LEDs. So this is really a good question, because at some point we should also be able to separate and recycle and reuse all of the materials that we have on the LEDs. That today, I think we are still on the early stage, the industry in general, not only Seoul, but the industry in general. And this will be for sure a big opportunity also, and should be already today, a big opportunity to start to think what are we going to do with all the installations with LEDs, yeah? Because there are many materials that we should reuse. We have aluminiums, we have copper, we have gold, we have silvers. So we have really a lot of materials, silicones, that we should really find a way to reuse them. Sunlight, same as other LEDs, it doesn't have any special thing. So the chip is mainly a bit different technology, from a violet chip to a blue chip. It's a semiconductor material that, well, here it's a bit challenging to recycle today, because there are many mixed materials on there, metals. Then we have some plastics and some phosphors that are also embedded on silicones. So this is also challenging, I believe, to really extract the different materials from these phosphors. So for sure, we will find a way to recycle all of these materials, but I think today we should work harder on this, because the industry is still not very focused on this, and this will be for sure a big issue in the coming years, when after 5, 10, 15 years of using luminaires, we start to install new ones with SunLike or with new LEDs here.
That's for sure. But one thing then is the lifetime, the lifespan of a quality luminaire where the LED is very, very long. So of course that gives time to develop recycling systems and to find ways to recycle as much as possible. And it's a trend, and it's as you say, it's not a Seoul Semiconductor thing. It's the industry in total which have to face this kind of challenges. And I think now also with the pressure from all over the place, really do a lot of efforts to solve this kind of issues.
Yeah.
But Marc, time has run out for us.
Okay.
It was a pleasure to meet you. Thank you again, Marc, for a wonderful presentation. And we keep in touch and hope for a lot of mutual success. Och now I turn to Swedish, which you will recognize när jag får tacka alla ni som har varit med och alla de som har frågor. Nu är jag jävig, men jag menar från min själ och hjärta så jag verkligen gillar det här ljuset. Det är ett väldigt snällt och vänligt och trevligt ljus. Och det finns andra bra LED-kvaliteter också. Men SunLike är verkligen värt att ta till sig och kolla in lite extra, tycker jag. Så väl mött nästa gång, hörni, och be careful out there.
Thank you very much.